my role as the medical director for the Healthcare Professionals Foundation of Louisiana, quite often, Is that better?
Better.
Okay. As I was just going to say, in my role as the medical director for the Healthcare Professionals Foundation of Louisiana, quite often the time that I get involved in physician wellness is when there's an impairment of some kind. A large percentage of what we do has to do with substance use disorders, alcohol, prescription and non-prescription drugs. But that's not all we do. We also take care of people who are having issues with neurocognitive impairments, depression, and burnout. So I thought today we'd talk a little bit about the extent of the problem of burnout. I found a couple of good studies. The one that I'm going to use for today was done by Medscape, and we'll talk a little bit about the methodology. That's Boudreaux. He's my Frenchie. He's kind of one of the reasons I stay sane. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about the Medscape study. It was done, it's the most recent study, which just completed at the end of 2019. It really focused on physician burnout and suicide, and it gave us a definition of burnout, which is something that not all the studies do. We're going to try to define the extent of the issue and break it up into categories that involve both the generational divides as well as by male and female gender. And then we're going to talk a little bit about some of the supportive programs and how we can make things better. If y'all have any questions at any time, please interrupt. I much prefer an interactive than to just listen to myself talk, so please speak up at any time. This was the methodology of the study. One of the reasons I chose it is, of all the studies I looked at, this one had the largest sample size that I could find. It had 15,000 participants, which is pretty good. Some of the other ones had 2, 3, maybe 4,000. Now the downside is that this is a survey, so it's not as extensive as some of the other studies were. However, I think the sheer numbers make up for that. And again, it's completed September of 2019.